Oh boy, that sounds like music back in my day right there. That's all the way back. And good morning to you from the high offices of the Panhandle Gator Club. I'm Buddy Martin. I'm not one of the officers. Here's a guy who was on the board right here. He's the important one. Rob Dotson has been our good buddy, and we've had a wonderful time doing this show. We have a major announcement to make this morning, we hope. Meanwhile, lots of good news trickling in for you folks who keep up with those things. And how about that game last night? I mean, I don't care if you're a Miami fan or whatever, but you had to appreciate good football. And it was, in fact, good football. So we unfortunately for Mississippi fans, and I've talked about this on Rob earlier, that I felt really bad for my friend Shane Matthews, who's a Rebel. I don't know why he didn't go to Ole Miss, but anyway, he's from there. His dad played for Ole Miss, and his mother was a cheerleader. And, of course, what a wonderful – I guess if you could have a Cinderella story, which I don't think you can have in football, that's as close as the one. And they came so close to knocking off Miami. Carson Beck is known for his arm. He beat the Rebels last night with his feet.
He did.
So, great football game. I think it was just a tremendous football game. Enjoyed it. Meanwhile, this is Panhandle Gator Club Podcast. We're going to announce today that we're considering, depending upon you, keeping this thing going. We've had some good response. We know we've been sporadic because of the holidays. We realize this is a little different situation. It's not one big city or draw for this. This is kind of scattered, but we're all over. We're international, Rob, is what we are. And we're going to have an announcement later how you can help out. If you like this show, we just got it launched, got it going. Thank you to our sponsors who've been so great to us, Rocket Lanes and Browne Orthodontics. Appreciate their participation. And we're looking for other business, how we Rob?
Absolutely. We are looking forward to giving you this podcast weekly in the future. As soon as I get settled in, I'm selling a house, moving into.
You picked a bad time to do all that, Jack.
I got to make sure I always have time for this because this is important. I really enjoy it, and I appreciate all the feedback.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you for all you do. So we're just gonna coast along here. We just want to get this thing launched. See if you like it. We've had lots of good feedback, especially when we had the book signing. And the Gator Club, which you can tell them about, by the way, Panhandle Gator Club showed up big time, and we had a wonderful night there with Franz Beard, and my friend Dr. Arnoff came over, and Carlton Reese, and our whole team was there. So let's get right into the meat of things here. And before we tell you about our sponsors, let's talk about what's going on in Gainesville. More good news. I think if you want to talk about success, that probably be hard to be much more successful than what John Summerall has been in terms of, look, he went 5 for 5 and getting back the 5 people he wanted. Yes, DJ Lagway did not. I don't know that was a marriage that was going to survive. And like I said in my column this morning, if you buy a restaurant, usually you want your own chef. And they had a quarterback in mind, and they've got him from Georgia Tech being one on the squad now. It's not the flavor that they want. I don't know, folks. What do you think? Give us your thoughts. You can log on here and do that. But it was a change that was made, and as I will read later on in my thank you, DJ, we should appreciate what DJ Lagway did. Some people are mad at him because he didn't give them what they wanted. But you know what? All I ask is the person to show up, play the best they can, contribute. And, it's not a loyal thing. He needed to move on. Best Rob for himself and for the program. And now he's a happy guy at Baylor. I saw pictures of him last night at the Baylor basketball game. And so all the best to him.
Yeah, DJ was a class act, and we appreciate everything he's done for us, and hope his career goes well for him. And he's had a few injuries, and hopefully those get behind him.
For sure, folks. If you can see this, please retweet it and let people know we're here. We're kind of a brand new show. We're trying to get settled in on a time and a place, and right now we're going to stick with this. We have been every other week. If we get the support for it, we'll go every week. And Rob, let's tell them about the show and what it is. This is a chance for folks in the Panhandle, and that means up in Lower Alabama and Georgia, whatever, to participate in a show that's about things and people that they care about in this area. We'll have various guests on from time to time. We hope to have Emily Hatfield, who's our new roving reporter. She's goes to here at junior college. Well, I don't call it junior college anymore. Anyway, she's getting a degree in marketing. She's extremely sharp. She's today in Tampa on a special mission, so she'll be joining us. Maybe we'll see if she gets the link. But Rob, tell them what the show's about.
Just remember, it may be the Panhandle Gator Club podcast, but the podcast is for the Panhandle and everybody in it, all schools, all people, all functions, all cities. We just happen to be the host. So we wanted to do something to promote the Panhandle and bring news and events, activities about the Panhandle to people who want to enjoy it. And come enjoy the beaches. It's not just the beaches, but it's one of the few things we have that no one else has as good as ours.
All right. Now, for a guy who answers his phone, hello to Paradise from Paradise. Well, you tell folks about this, about the sponsor that we have in Rocket Lanes and where they should go if they need to be partake, because it's something unusual. If you're not from around here, I've been there several times. Love the place, love the folks. Tell them about it.
I sure will. Rocket Lanes is a great place. Come get social at Rocket Lanes. Bring your family and enjoy their bowling in one of their 24 synthetic AMF lanes, or skate in their 8,000 square foot roller skating rink, or just geek out in their 16,000 square foot mega arcade. And while the kids play, adults can enjoy a cold beverage in their upscale sports bar. Rocket Lanes is the host of the Panhandle Gator Club. Join fellow Gators and friends at a Gator basketball game, watch party each week, watching on one of their many TV screens. So come get social at Rocket Lanes, 513 North Richard Jackson Boulevard, Panama City Beach, in the shops of Edgewater across from Edgewater Beach Resort.
All right.
Where Buddy can get lost.
Yeah, we're going to have Rob Browne on here in a minute. And he's the guy who knows a lot about this area. Like I said, literally, he's been coming down here since his brother was a knee-high to a grasshopper. And he knows a lot about the area. And I'm relatively new here. I've been here just almost 2 years. I think it's 2 years this month. And I'm learning a lot, and I want to learn more. I've got a place to go. I've got a couple of places that's blow me away. And I'm sure there are many more that will be is intriguing. So, yeah, we're trying to learn. We want you to teach us, and you can get on the message boards here if you want, and you can make a comment to us. Here's a couple right here. Here's Jay Stern Blue Jays. We'll say good evening or good morning to you right there. How you doing? Yeah, this is from JLB Toronto Blue Jays. We got a Blue Jay follow. He says he loves the Panhandle. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Blue Jay.
I call it paradise.
There you go. All right. So, did you watch the game last night?
Oh, absolutely. It was everything you wanted in a championship semifinal game. I mean, it was a close game. It was a great game. It had intrigue. It had everything. I mean, I just can't say enough. I was personally rooting for Ole Miss only because they're SEC, and of course I'm a Gator, so Miami's not exactly my favorite team. But it was an absolutely awesome game. It was. I mean, had me on the edge of my chair the whole game.
Yeah, I was really. What a job Golden did. I mean, the whole story was just unbelievable. Is that my phone buzzing or yours?
No, not me.
Okay.
But like you said, Golden took that team and took them in and really inspired them, and they were just a few seconds away and one play away from going to the final game.
Yeah, and I would say normally we don't cover big picture subjects here in a little corner of the world. We try to stick Panhandle Gator Club stuff on the podcast. We can't ignore this today. Such a big game, and tonight another one. And Miami fans have looked. They've suffered a long time, as much as we hate to say this, Gator fans, and quite frankly, I didn't think they were going to get it done. They kept dropping interceptions. They dropped 4 interceptions last night. I'm thinking, and I even tweeted, maybe they're telling us they aren't ready for this to do this. But to their credit, they hung in at the end. Good clock manager. Cristobal had this big defense. Although the defensive guys went down like flies. Must have been eight guys hurt on defense in Miami. I'm not really, but not. So anyway, it was a huge win for the Hurricanes, their program now. They're going to host next week for the national championship. How's that for a comeback? They didn't even win their conference. So anyway, and several people tweeted today, you can't ignore that semifinals last night. Miami Ole Miss said everything you wanted for a championship caliber event. And as I said, my heart goes out to Shane Matthews, my pal. He was born and raised a Rebel fan. Both his parents were Hotty Toddy. And they grew up around it, and I'm surprised he didn't go to Ole Miss. He came to Florida. Shane, I know he's hurting today, but as are all Rebel fans because of the heartbreaking outcome, and I hate to talk about this in conciliatory tones like it's a moral victory, but that's an impressive run. What a time. And Pete Golden, my gosh, have your coach and Burrow and all that crap, and then Lane Kiffin came out smelling like a rose, although some people will never forgive him. Now the coaches go back where they go to LSU. We'll see. Crazy times. But yeah. Let me just mention.
What we can hope for here, buddy, is that Sumrall takes the Gators where Signetti and Kiffin has taken their 2 teams.
For sure.
Hopefully 2 years.
For sure. And I got to say, I can't say enough about Sumrall. I mean, there's a reason you're calling it, Summerall. Although his name is not spelled that way because it's been all Summerall. And tremendous job. We're going to get to that, break it down a little bit, talking about, what happened. Let's go see if we've got Rob Browne here or who this. Yes, it is Rob Browne. I'm looking for Emily Hatfield. She's not going to make it today. We'll grab Rob in just a second. Rob, we're getting to you. Anyway, just a wonderful story, but it's unfortunately close, but no cigar, But boys, I tell you what, there's a lot of fans of Ole Miss football now that I think because of it, don't you?
No, absolutely. The things he's done in such a short period of time and the way he's led the team has been just unbelievably awesome.
Yeah, tip of the hat, by the way, to Trinidad Chambliss.
Oh, well,
I mean, wow.
He was what, D2 last year?
Yeah, fair state.
That just shows what good coaching does with good talent.
Yeah, good point there. We talked about we don't want any more Sun Belt coaches. Well, I'll take the one we got. A little bit closer to home, John Sumrall. He got 5 for 5. He targeted 5 guys. He knew he couldn't get them all, although there's news today about another pickup. They're just killing the portal, looks like. And they kept Miles Graham, Vardell Browne, Dallas Wilson, Jaden Ball. Remember, it's Jaden Ball. That was a biggie. And then Jaden Woods came through last night. So that's 5 for 5. They've been really active in the portal, and that's what he's been since he's been there in December. They've had 30 players leave the program through the portal. They've signed 14 as of today, I believe, maybe 15. There's also got Aaron Filo, Georgia Tech, their running back, and they got Evan Pryor from Cincinnati. And today, I'll let you pronounce his name, the offensive lineman from Stanford.
And I believe they're expecting, at least the news is outside, not that it's been announced or anything, but they're expecting the Georgia Tech offensive lineman and possibly their tight end to come.
Yeah, no, he's the 52 is going to be there. He's a center.
Yes.
And I think it's a matter of just paperwork. They're going to be there.
Yeah.
So they keep rolling in. Speaking of rolling in, let's go get this guy who rolls along every day on this program. And we're going to get to a point about there's a point where you got to stop and pause and think about what's important. I want to see a private thank you to DJ Lagway. I know some people are mad at him. And some people didn't like him. Whatever. But I appreciate what he represented. I was a big fan of his to start with. Disappointed he got hurt. Yes, he had those 5 interceptions. People will never forget that. The fact is, The guy was a class act, and I wish him the best. I'm going to do a little tribute to him. And finally, before we go to get Rob Browne, who's a stickler for a detail, let's do a little spelling lesson, okay? This is important. I had to write this note to myself, and as a result, I sent it to my people on the Gator staff. Remember this. The worst thing you can do is call your new coach Summerall like Pat. It's not spelled the same. Nowhere near Pat Summerall is not the same as John Summerall. It's just so you know, if you're writing it down, they call it now Summer Hall. Summerall. Well, what are you doing? But it's Sumrall. Summerall. Okay, and it's John Jon, not John. Okay, so it's John Summerall, not Summerall. Sumrall. Write it down. Remember it, because I think the worst thing we can do for our new coach is spell his name wrong. I noticed one of our guys today did something on a promo. He spelled it Summerall. It's a natural thing because it sounds that way. And then here's the smaller thing, but still important. It's Jadan Ball. Jadan. Jadan Ball, Baugh. But Jaden Woods, Jaden Woods. I know that's probably not registering most people. I have to double check it almost every time I write to remember. Got to remember, Jaden, that Woods is a den and Ball is a Dan. And Summerall is not summer, he's some.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're going back to Summerall, keeping those 5 players.
Yeah.
Says a lot. He says a whole lot about what the team thinks about their new coach.
Yeah. You know what else says a lot? This right here, and I want to get this on. I'm going to wait. Let's go get Rob now, see if we can do this. He's been a busy man doing the show. I want to show you the ring. This is unbelievable. And good morning to our partner, Rob Browne, from up there in the cherry orchard. What's up, Rob? Where'd you go? There you go.
He's trying to disappear.
Yeah,
there he is.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm listening to what y'all are saying, but I have, if you have a Labrador Retriever and every time he retrieves something, you give him a snack, you're going to have a fat dog. Having to celebrate keeping players on your current roster, I ain't doing it. And if they want to hit the portal, leave. I'll hit the portal button for them, because if it's all about money, I don't want them. If you have a roster full of guys that are just there for the hand and just the money, they're not, Kurt Cignetti has completely changed the narrative for the future of college football. I love him. He's a short, snarky, he's from Pittsburgh, man. I love what he is. Because that's how I am. I want to be the first one out of bed in the morning. Ask my wife. It is a competition. I have zero use for these guys. Okay, DJ Lagway, I heard he's a nice guy and all like that. But, I think the problem is, and I see it as a financial advisor, you're giving, we know this. What did we expect to happen? You're giving $2.5 million, $3 million to a 19, 20-year-old kid. He and his family and all the people that are probably borrowing money from him, they're not as hungry. Ask the NFL what's happening. Because the kids that go to the NFL were the ones getting the big NIL checks. These kids are coming in. A lot of them have made money. They're just not that hungry anymore. I talked to Dan Williams, my friend who played 7 years in the NFL. He said, they give you a per diem. You don't have to spend money on anything in the NFL. He saved all of his money in the 7 years, first-round draft pick out of Tennessee. He still has all of his money, and now he's got a foundation teaching young kids who struggle to read how to read, which, reading is like lifting weights with your brain. So as far as celebrating keeping guys, I think what you should be celebrating is the University of Florida is keeping those guys. And if you are smart and you get in the University of Florida, which, as we know, for in-state people, it ain't easy. It never was. But University of Florida is why these kids are staying. John Summerall knows that, and their fans are why they're staying. 90,000 every game. Despite the last 4 or 5 years, it hadn't been a lot of fun.
Yeah, even with the record, and we've had consecutive sellout.
Yeah. I mean, the Gator fan base, 92,000, and the tailgating, they appreciate that. You wait till they walk out in boycott in the second quarter because they've had enough of this stuff. It's going to start happening in college football. But again, I'm not criticizing y'all, but we're getting giddy. All these people, back for one more year. Do you say that to your wife and children when you were married? I'll do it another year. I mean, we joke about that, but hey, either you love Florida or you're just passing through.
Yeah, a good example of that, Rob, is the Washington quarterback.
Yeah.
He signed his new contract, and all of a sudden they said, wait, I don't like it. I'm going to the portal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that. You got a contract, son.
That's right. I mean, I totally agree with you.
Okay, listen, now, Rob, love you both. Rob, you're a smart guy. I love you. I think you got a smart guy. You're good with money, but you're so wrong on this because not anything is like comparing apples and peaches or grapes. It's a different time, a different place, a different era. You got to do business differently. And there is reasons to celebrate when you come in as a new coach and you get the quality players. These guys are quality players. And to stay, you're re-recruiting your squad. And whether you like it or not, you have to re-recruit your players. Everybody knows that. That's why Saban got out. He didn't want to re-recruit his players. And look, I mean, we can argue this point all day, but in my opinion, this is a critical point, and I give Summerall every bit of the credit for coming in with the right plan and targeting 5 guys and going after them. Because we're talking about, listen, you also have clients. If they got $1 million to spend, you can only spend it a few places, and the money's gone. You got to know where to buy the good stocks, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Well, he knew where his stock was, and now as a result, whether this is a blip in the screen or whether this is actual, maybe the market went up good one day. The fact is that Florida now is looked at differently because of John Summerall and because they're able to retain these players we talk about. We're not talking about some rummies. We're talking about probably the best running back in the country. I mean, if you want to stack it all together with numbers, the guy went for 266 against that, but you carried it 38 times and was desired and recruited by Texas and everybody else that wanted to pay him. They could have paid him the same or more, 1.3 for a running back. This guy is a baller. He's the strongest man in the history, physically, of the program. In the history of the program, he's also been no trouble. So, we can talk about all the other stuff about what's wrong with football. And, I'm not happy about it either. What are we going to do? Fold our hands to powder. If you put up your shingles and say, sorry, we're not to negotiate and talk to you later. We play with walk-ons. It's not the way you can do it today. You got to recruit.
I don't think he's stronger than former Florida player Doc Lucky, who bench pressed 605 pounds.
Well, according to what their physical way measure physicality,
I'm messing with you.
And Doc was a strong guy and a big guy.
Yeah.
And bottom line is physically they measure strength differently.
Yeah.
And they said he was the strongest guy in the history of the program. And even if he's not, he's fast, he's big, he's strong. He played all year and never got hurt.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think he was one of my favorite players. I'm gonna tell you about another one of my favorite players. Let's talk about this. I think there's times when you got to step back and say, it's not just what have you done for me lately, okay? By the way, they also got this kid Montgomery too today. Just came across a minute ago. I'll get back to that in a second. They're scoring so fast. I was doing the show tonight with Allie Peak Wilbur, and we talked about keeping up with who's who. And she says she can't keep an active list because the minute she types in a name that they have just gotten this person, somebody else has popped up. And it's really hard to keep up. But Miles Graham, Vernell Brown, Dallas Wilson, Jaden Ball, Jaden Woods. When you go 5 for 5, Rob, in baseball, is that good? 5 for 5? They're pretty good in there.
Yeah.
Are you there, Rob?
Yeah. It is.
And let me just continue the baseball analogy for a second. A baseball game, you don't win the game in the third inning when you score 3 runs. If you score baseball, if you're scoring a game, the game is going to probably come down to the final innings and who's up last, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'd look upon this football team like this right now. This is an ongoing game, ongoing story. We don't know yet. He may get all these guys to still go 2-10. I don't know. But we're just like your stocks. You say buy the stock. Well, you don't know for sure that's money that's going to make money for you. You like to get the blue chips, right, and cash in. So you don't know that. And again, when you talk about this, not to get over our skis about it, and you're right. Let's see what a guy can do. I think re-recruiting is a big thing. But also think back to your point, loyalty and so-called logo and all that is something good. And sometimes you're going to push back, okay? And I think it's important to remember that, guys like DJ Lagway brought something. So if I may for a second, just read a small part of this, if I can find it, and just salute the guy who I think he brought. Look, last year, Rob 1, Rob 2, Rob. Remember, the things are in the tank, and this guy pulled it out at the end. All right. So I wrote goodbye, DJ Lagway, and thank you. I'll just read a couple of paragraphs. From the jump, the moment I first saw DJ Lagway step on the Steve Spurrier Florida field, I thought, now there's a star in the making. And you know what? He was, and then some. But sometimes in life and in football, the timing isn't just right. The place, the people, the moment, they don't align the way you like the stars. So here we are saying goodbye to a young man whose story at Florida ends sooner than anyone thought. We're sorry to see you go, DJ. Most of us are, anyway. Also, genuinely happy that you're getting a new beginning at Baylor. I love seeing that picture of him at the basketball game last night and being very happy. Apparently got $2 million. Some doors closed, not in failure, but because life is a better hallway waiting on the other side. You'll walk that path now with the same poise, strength, and faith that brought you here. We never really got a chance to see you play at 100%. Injuries robbed us and didn't have the right coach at the right time. What happened between you and the staff, I can't say. Maybe it was fitness, maybe philosophy, or lack of assurance you needed that the new coach couldn't proffer you. But I never believed it was about the money. Sometimes these things just happen, like when a new owner buys a restaurant. The first thing they do is what? Change the chef. It's no one's fault. It's just the way of doing business. There's my little take on it today. You guys can respond. You can boo me now if you want to. I just want to say thank you to the guy.
No, again, DJ is a class act. We appreciate everything he's done. I wish him the best in his future, and you've got to make decisions based on whatever. Again, we don't know, what the discussion was between him and the coaches. It may be he wanted to go, maybe he didn't. But in any event, he's at Baylor now, and we wish him the best.
Rob, you talk to a lot of people. What are you hearing?
Well, again, I do talk to a lot of people, and I'll tell you what. Here in Memphis, Jimmy Sexton is messing up college football.
Mm-hmm.
These stories that are out there. Mm-hmm. The other day, I thought it was AI. Brendan's got me. So, is it live or is it Memorex with Ella Fitzgerald? Is it real or is it AI?
Yeah.
Kirby Smart close to finalizing deal with the Atlanta Falcons. Are you serious? Now, you know what Ben Troop always says. When I die.
By the way, that story is false, according to Tony.
Oh, I know it was, man. I'm just saying. Ben Troop says, one day when I die, and it's going to be a long time from now, I'm going to have 6 Atlanta Falcon players be my pallbearer. And I said, why is that, Ben, from Swainsboro? Ben Troop replied, so they can let me down one last time. You think Kirby Smart's going to go from the chaos of college football to the Atlanta Falcons? Holy shnikes. But I'll say this. I got no use for these guys. They might be nice guys and all, but when I lose clients, hey, good. You know what Kurt Signetti said? Hey, someone asked him right after they beat Penn State at Happy Valley this year. He said, hey, what about this history? Indiana's never won at Penn State. He goes, not this team. It's the first time they've ever played here. Next question. That's the
he's
coaches.
refreshing. He is.
I love that. I want to tell you what, get you a coach from West Virginia or Pittsburgh. Look at Kurt. The coach is Dan Lanning, alpha male. Kurt Signetti, alpha male. Mario Cristobal, alpha male. And you look at what is going on. These 3 coaches that are left, they're tough. They're not go along to get along. Let's all be friends.
Saban guys.
All Saban guys. That's right. You got to be tough. These kids today want it more than ever for you to be tough on them. I spent 14 years volunteer coaching cross country and track and field. I got kids now in their mid and late 20s, early 30s coming up to me and saying, I thought you were crazy. You were so intense.
They're
But you were
right. They're right about that.
That's what they want. And buddy, you know every rider that you've ever coached because you are a true badass. And you know this, Rob. I'm telling you, every one of them that ever when I get guys on the show and when we mention Buddy's name, they just I love that guy.
They throw up probably.
No, yeah, right. Ryan Higgins, all these guys, because you are a hard ass. And Brendan is with me. I'm just saying,
I'm sorry.
from what I understand, DJ Lag, no, I need it. Trust me. I'm just saying about DJ, from what I understand, is a great kid. I just get so frustrated when people leave. But again, that may not have been his decision.
I think going in, what I'm hearing and thinking, I don't see if I'm interrupting you.
No.
They just had an attitude that, you got to show me I'm not going to promise you anything. And he expected more. That's just right. It's their right.
Yeah, it is. And I think the Jaden Boss story, you're right. I mean, you just think these guys would want to stay, but you better adapt. Or you're going to go the way of the kiwi bird, the dinosaur, and the ivory-billed woodpecker if you don't. Although, didn't they see one in the Florida Panhandle in the swamp, Rob? I digress. but no, your Buddy's right. Buddy's wise, and so are you, Rob. You're an engineer. You plan. I think Sumrall. I still say it's the best hire in the offseason anybody in the country got, because he's only been a head coach 4 years. He's played for the conference championship 4 years. He won it this year at Tulane. Do you understand how hard it is to win at Tulane in football?
Sure do.
I mean, y'all do.
I'll give you credit. You were on Summerall a long time before many of us were.
I love the guy. He's just an alpha. He's Urban Meyer. He's that kind of I think he's that kind of personality. I don't know Urban. Y'all do. But I'd tell you one thing. Dave Bartu said about Urban Meyer. He goes to Bowling Green. They win 9 games out of nowhere. He goes to Utah. They go 13-0. He goes to Florida, wins 2 titles in 6 years.
Mm-hmm. And he, by the way, I know there's stories about him going to Bowling Green. They're in the book, by the way. And he got there and found out 2 things that hit me was, number one, he looked around the room with his players. And they have a lot of different kind of people at Bowling Green. And Utah, and Utah has the Mormons and the Polys and the different groups. One thing he did was broke up the ethnic groups. He didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
No, you had to have, mix this room up. Let's get this guy's over here. He did a great job there. And Urban's some of his best work. Never saw the field, but he did that in advance. And he, by the way, did you see him at the basketball game, Rob? Either one of you?
Yes.
You see him?
Yes.
Happy dude. He was there with Urban Klausvar, the basketball player, in front of the locker. And he says Urban, and he's Urban. There's 2 Urbans, and he was enjoying himself big time.
He was sitting next to Ben, wasn't he? If I recall,
Ben Troop.
I think so.
No, I don't think so.
I thought I saw.
Well, it's not Ben Troop. Pretty sure.
Oh well.
I've been somewhere. I don't.
Maybe I was sleeping.
No, I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. And I want to get back to the subject you guys are talking about now on coaches. And I thought to myself, let me go back to as far as coaches, because are there any parallels between the program they have now and what they've had in the past? In other words, is there a link to a school somehow? Like the name will come back to Phil Troutline. Where's you from? Penn State. You played at Florida. Washington with Penn State? Yeah, there was. What about offensive line? I'll tell you about it in a minute about that. Before we do that, I want you to tell us about Prime Orthodontics. Tell folks again how they can get you, Rob, if you want to sponsor this program. We're going to sponsor this. We want Rob Browne to work harder and do more. So we want to do more shows. So, Rob, why don't you go ahead, Rob Dotson, and tell them about that. I'll come back and tell you, presenting the question, do Florida fans – I see, it was Brandon Spikes. That's correct. Yeah, he was – you're right, it was Brandon Spikes. Toronto Blue Jays says that was Brandon that you saw in the picture. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, we do want to thank our sponsors because that's what makes this show happen. So specifically, we want to thank our Prine Orthodontics. If you're ready for the smile of your dreams, come to Prine Orthodontics. They will make it happen with braces or clear aligners tailored just for you. Their expert team combines cutting-edge technology with personalized care, all in a friendly, comfortable environment. Whether you're a teen, adult, or anywhere in between, your perfect smile starts here. Call Prine Orthodontics today or visit them online to book your complimentary consultation. They have 2 locations, 3308 West Highway 390, Panama City, and 10,800 Panama City Beach Parkway, Unit 400, Panama City Beach.
I hear they're looking at other places. I know a guy interested in dating his daughter over there, so I'll tell you about that.
Oh, yeah. My grandson got his braces, Prine Orthodontics. That's how much I think of it.
Yeah. Max Steen is the former captain of the 69 team, the Super Sobs, is over in DeLand. He raised a whole generation. He's a dentist, and he was orthodontics, and he knows every kid in the county. He put braces on them all. I've walked down the streets of DeLand with Matt. Hey, how you doing, How you doing, Coach? Good to see you, Coach. He knows everybody because they all remember their doctor to put their braces on. All right, here's one for you guys before we get to that subject of that Penn State. And jump in there. Don't let me ramble. But as good as it was for the Miami people and all that, not good for the Florida Gators. Here's one. This is the truth about it right here. If you have to live in this. And this is, I'm in South Florida listening to the Cane fans call my show this morning. It was painful. Paul Castanova. Well, Payne, get used to it now. They're back, and you got to give them credit. It's part of doing business. And you think about Florida, you realize this could be Miami's 6th national championship. 6. I'm not sure about those. I saw them all. I saw it stand last night. It floored me. 6. Wow. If they won, they played the game in Miami, by the way. And then you add in the fact that you got to deal with up here, we have to deal with, as you know, Rob, Florida State. And the issues there, they won, 3? Whatever they won.
Yes.
It's not Florida State 2. I forget. You would know, Rob Browne. And then Florida, of course, has won 3. So it's competitive in the state of Florida. There was a time here, Rob Browne, where if you came down to Florida and played college football, you had your hat in your hand. It was like a record of like 80 straight times people lost to those 3 schools. It was incredible to see. College football is better when those 3 schools are pertinent.
I mean, historically, you go back to 1983 to 2013, 93, 03, 30. In that 30-year period, 11 national championships, 5 for the Canes, 3 for the Gators, and 3 for the Seminoles. Florida State played for it in 98 and 2000, didn't win. Florida played for it in 1995, lost 62-24 to Nebraska when Jarquez Green out of Fort Valley, Georgia. Remember when Jarquez, that was horrible, but they played for it in that one and didn't win it. You think about, so that's 11, 14. Miami played for it, good gosh, in 86, remember the Fiesta Bowl. Pete Kitopoulos, the linebacker for Penn State, intercepted late in that 14-10 Penn State victory. They lost in 92 to Alabama when they were a prohibitive favorite. So I think 15 times in that 30-year period, a school from the great state of Florida. I've always said, you have the greatest track and field programs in America in Florida. And R1, you're RD, I'm RB. I put RB on all my hunting gear. Everybody goes, the mark of Zorro. But, buddy, from 89 to 09, Florida winningest program in all of college football. So you wonder why fans get mad when the Gators aren't winning. Right. When you've eaten at Ruth Chris Steakhouse and had a 32-ounce, tomahawk filet or the old 96er, you're eating everything. That means the gristle. Remember that movie?
We lost you there. Real quick comeback. While you're waiting, I love this Billy Joel song I wrote about last week.
And Dan Aykroyd. But you think about it, buddy, your knowledge of Florida I got to ask you this. The 50s, you had one coach for the decade. The 60s, one coach for the decade. The 70s, one coach for until 1979. I go back to this. I got to ask y'all this. When Charlie Pell came in from Clemson, first year they were 0-10-1. Next year the Gators are 8-4, win the Citrus Bowl, 35-23 over Maryland, I think. At that time, the largest, greatest turnaround from one season to the next. Of the 22 starters, not counting special teams, 11 of those 22 had been high school quarterbacks. Starting with Wayne Peace out of Winter Haven, Florida, great quarterback. Right. Buddy, Florida football, to me, and they get to play Auburn this year. We already invited, Brendan's coming to our tailgate this year. He's coming up in week 3. You know Florida football, and you do too, Rob. When they're rolling, it is great for college football. Mm-hmm. And this, I don't care who you're a fan of, I love it. Gator bait, I love it. We cover all SEC schools. It's like having 16 children. You can't favor one over the other. As an Auburn grad, I'm more critical and ruthless on Auburn than I am of any school out there because I expect more out of my own family. But watching Florida with Sumrall is going to be fun. He's just what y'all needed. And John Hartwell knows him well. This guy, he sleeps scheming plays. And I can see why these guys did not want to leave. I'm surprised DJ. But again, we don't know what went on.
No, we don't.
We don't know. But speaking of the Panhandle, think about sitting on the beach right now. It's a gorgeous day down there. It's sunny.
Yeah.
I mean, and talking college football and drinking a cold road soda or a martini. And does it get much better than that?
I want you to talk about
it. If you look around my house right now, I am in the middle of packing and moving over to Margaritaville. I'm leaving this paradise.
That's where he's going. To a place
leaving this paradise for a new paradise, and with a to-do list that says nothing.
Where are you moving to?
Margaritaville. Jimmy Buffett's house. It's about 5 miles away from over by the airport.
So you're staying in the Panhandle. Oh
I'm staying in Panhandle. Yeah. I'm not leaving paradise.
West. You're just going west.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. No, I am not going to leave paradise. I'm just leaving the paradise.
Party at Rob Dotson's place, Margaritaville. We're all going there.
So that's why when you look behind me, it looks so barren and bad. I apologize.
I love it.
It'll be great, man. Can't wait to see. I heard great things about it. So there's a lot of neat places. We were there just recently over there. We went to McGuire's for dinner and karaoke and all that. And why don't you guys swap a few notes for people who don't know much about the secret spots? Rob, you go to 30A all the time. As we know, there's famous people with homes there, Peyton Manning, you name it. I heard that Bobby Bowden once had a home in Panama City. I heard that the other day.
Well, there's a lot of Florida Gator people that have houses at Rosemary Beach. A lot of your administrators.
That's a very popular place.
Yeah,
it's kind of where the donut place where Billy Napier used to go.
Yeah. Hey,
I think you guys do some. Go ahead. You were lost here, Rob. Sorry.
Sorry about that. I had hit the mute button accidentally. The dog came by and pulled my Ethernet cord out. So I was like, oh, no. I got to watch that or Matthew the cat. He loves to play with it. And I'm like, don't. That's the money line. But I'll say this about 30A. My friend Michael Jordan, MJ's down there living on Redfish Circle in Blue Mountain. McTie's, that's a big Irish bar he likes to go to in the Panhandle. Of course, Goat Feathers has reopened. But one thing, Rob, I want to know, there's so many good places from Destin on over, Pensacola, you name it. Where's your best place to go get raw oysters? I mean, the Floribama is technically in Florida, okay? And we can crawl in off the beach 200 yards from where we stay at Bella Luna when we go to Orange Beach and get them fried, oysters Rockefeller. My wife, if they're not raw, she goes, it's not an oyster. But if y'all heard of the Murder Bay Oyster Company down there in Alabama, after Hurricane Katrina, so many oysters were destroyed. They raised them up, and now if the bad weather comes, they don't get all the mud and sediment in there. But give me your top 3 raw oyster eating places with cold road sodas and great atmosphere.
Well, I'd have to say Apalachicola. I don't know. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, you're right. They just reopened Apalachicola to commercial and private oyster harvesting. So Apalachicola oysters are back. We'll see how they are. My personal opinion on oysters is it depends where they come from, because you can get North Carolina oysters, you can get Louisiana oysters or Alabama, and then there's Texas oysters. And depending on the time and season and so on, one may be better than another. So the first thing I ask any place I go that I'm going to get some raw oysters is where are they from? And they'll usually show me, often give me a taste. My top two places that I can think of off the top of my head that I go a lot here in the Panhandle area. One is called Simply Seafood in Lynn Haven. They always have great oysters. The other day I was there, they were from Louisiana. They were a good, 2.5 inch oyster, and what I call briny. My wife calls it salty. I said, hey, I grew up calling it briny. So it was a good briny oyster. So I didn't have to taste one and had a dozen set to my desk, my table. The other place I like to go to is, there's two others. They're almost side by side over in St. Andrews. Hunt Seafood, and then
that's where I am, right here, right on my window. That's it.
Yeah, and what's the other? Captain's Table. Both over
right.
That way. Those
Probably
three places to me
a good
is where I go.
1 iron from here, right down.
Yeah. Buddy could throw a rock and hit Hunt Seafood.
Yeah. It's good to know. Good local knowledge. Go ahead, Rob.
No, I'm saying I love it. Buddy was telling me in the private chat that Texas oysters are oily. It's a bad joke.
I didn't say about.
Hey, Buddy Martin appearing live at the Comedy Club.
No Rocky Mountain oysters, okay?
I will
not want any Rocky Mountain oysters.
No, those are different, buddy.
Yeah, they're
definitely different. But I will say
about that in Colorado,
Texas oysters are usually smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they're usually smaller oysters. Louisiana and Alabama oysters, particularly Louisiana, are usually the better ones.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
What's the best oyster you ever? I'm gonna give you my story. Well, what is the best moment or memory you have of eating oyster? And don't let me forget to get back to the coaches of Florida and tell you about the connection to Penn State, because I want to get that in. But I went with just the name of drum to New Orleans with Terry Bradshaw. We went downtown to one of the boats there. They have the oyster bars, and we went in one afternoon. And we knocked down about 4 dozen of the best oysters I ever ate in my life and about 3 pitchers of beer. It was fantastic. I've never had anything that good before or since. Now, those Louisiana oysters, I know we got better ones probably here, but that's my little tidbit to contribute to you guys who know this area 100 times better than I do.
Well, you talk about the oysters, Rob. I'm salivating right now. I one time, I graduated high school. We were out on a Friday night in Memphis. I had 5 dozen raw oysters. I ate myself, and we were pretty, having a big time. But I don't know. Another place, that great Southern restaurant on 30A is really cool there in the Circle there. And there's all these big name places. But my theory is Apalachicola west back to Pensacola and Orange Beach. That, to me, is the most target-rich environment in the world for the best oysters. You talk about North Carolina oysters, that's like me living in Memphis, someone trying to tell me about barbecue in other places. I mean, yeah, there's barbecue in other places. I'm going to tell you what, if y'all do a function down there, y'all have a big tailgate party, a big outdoor party. My friend Michael Jordan, he's in the bond business. He lives on 30A on Redfish Circle there in Blue Mountain. He's got a rig. He can cook for a ton of people. He does it just, you pay him a little bit, but the ribs and the brisket, it's a 15-pound brisket. It's 15 hours, and it falls. It's like spaghetti noodles. It's so tender. But Memphis barbecue is different. I just think that the Gulf Coast seafood, in my opinion, is the best. You go down there, it is the best seafood. You get Louisiana, it can be dicey. They get their stuff out of the Atchafalaya Bay. That's the Cajun, the pantry to Cajun cooking. But the Gulf Coast seafood, I think, is the best in the world. You pretty much can go anywhere, and you're going to get it. A hole in the wall, it doesn't matter as long as it came out of the Gulf.
Yeah, I will say, I always try to give a tidbit. And one tidbit I'll say is about oysters, since we're talking about them, is the reason the oysters are best and only really realistically best be Apalachicola, Mobile, and at the end of the Mississippi River. Oysters require fresh water to propagate. So where fresh water meets the salt water, you're going to find really good oysters. So any place like that happens is where oysters are. So that's your tidbit for the day.
Barbecued oysters.
There you go.
Awesome. Nothing like shucking an oyster, leave it in half shell, put it on the grill, pour little spices and cheese and stuff on it, garlic, and then just let it sit there and roast.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rag on this for a second here, if I can get this picture to go up here. And this is a photograph of the ring that was given away by Meldon Law. This is the replica ring. I'm going to try. There you go. And you can see it now. Look at that beautiful ring. You guys see that?
Our boys earned that, yes.
That is a replica ring. That is a replica of the ring that they won. And Meldon Law bought 10,000 of these and gave them to every one of the fans that came to the basketball game a couple of weeks ago. And people are sick at their stomach because that's a beautiful ring, gorgeous ring. And guess what? We're doing a book signing on Francis Beard's book. You guys know about it. You read the last thing we did. And Francis has done a wonderful job with this book, The Golden Season, in Ocala on the 20th before the LSU game at the Cogent Bank. And one of those rings will be given away at the door. One of those rings. And I'll give you more details later. I'm just announcing it today. It will have a small crowd. It only holds 50 or 60 people. But we're going to have some really great people like Matt McCall, Randy Briggs, Tom Ingram, etc. there, including friends, signing up more books. And when you come into the building, you have to have the secret code. And the secret code is simply Jeffrey Meldon. If you get a Jeffrey Meldon secret word, you get to be in the drawing. The drawing means you are going to have opportunity to win this beautiful ring. So there you go. I think that's pretty cool, guys, isn't it?
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Now, I'm going to have to find a way to get it off the screen. So I got it up there. But
I'm going to find a way to get me one.
Yeah, right. While we're waiting there, we're going to tell you about our, well, there aren't any more. This is pretty much it. There's only like 2 or 3 of them. They're all given out. But yeah, there's always one available, maybe on eBay. I don't know. But the guy, Jeffrey Meldon, just gave us that one today for our gathering. I'll give you more information if you're in the Ocala, Gainesville area about how you might be able to get one of those. I want to try to get in, if I can. I want to try to get in the information on the coaches. And you guys, Rob, you know coaches pretty well. Both of you do. I was interested about Florida coaches. You know, and if I said to you, how many Florida coaches are in the College Football Hall of Fame? How many of them could you name, and how many would you say?
I'd have a wild guess, but
well, just start taking them off. You can think of a couple because there's one recently, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously you got Meyer and Spurrier.
Yep, that's 2.
Graves.
Ray Graves is one of them. That's correct. Trump probably you won't get, but anyway.
Yeah, there's one. I want to say there's one back years ago, but
a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I'll give it to you. Doug Dickey, surprisingly, for people who didn't like him, is in there, and then Charlie Bachman, who goes way back to the day.
Yeah, Charlie.
They went to their back in the day. Anyway, that's interesting history, and just thought we'd get that out there. And here's the connection. While I try to get this off the screen, I'm still trying. The connection is that, let's see, remove this, try that, and we'll remove this and try that. Penn State, you remember a guy named Galen Hall?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. The Galen Hall was from Penn State. I saw him play the Gator Bowl. We played back in the day, a long time ago. And he became the coach when Charlie Pell got fired. And he went on. And they had 84 was the year they had the New York Times National Championship, right?
Yeah, which we should be claiming.
We should be. You're all about that. You're right. Yeah.
Yes.
And also they had the Great Wall.
Yes.
All offensive linemen. Was it any coincidence that their coach in '84 was Galen Hall, Penn State, known for offensive linemen, right?
Yep.
Right. And well, there you go. Who's the offensive line coach just coming with Coach Summerall? Phil Troutwine.
Phil Troutwine, yeah.
State. Have you seen some of the studs? Rob Browne, you need to look this up. See some of the studs he's bringing with him, 325 pounds, whatever, offensive lineman. All of a sudden, we saw today that the offensive lineman from Sanford is coming. That offensive line is, which by the way was a sore point the last 4 years with Rob Sale, is going to be beefed up big time. And that you just watch what happens there. But and we don't talk about offensive linemen very much, right? But boy, I tell you what, when you need them and you got them, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Let you guys give a closing thought, both of you.
Yeah, what didn't Galen Hall go on to a hell of a movie career? He was in The Firm, wasn't he? Oh, that's Wilford Brimley. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he was a good USFL at the time.
Yeah, Galen Hall, hell of a coach. Mm-hmm. And you think of those Penn State offensive line. And I think the reason we're not talking about offensive linemen that much is lack of continuity. It takes about 2 years to build a cohesive offensive unit. And you start bringing in quality offensive linemen, Penn State, big calves, white socks, black high-top shoes, old school. That's how you win on the offensive line. That's not a pass-through. That's a mentality. So I think it's going to be fun. One of the Florida coaches, my last thing I'm going to say, one of them in the 50s, the 60s, or the 70s, those decade coaches, one of them had almost a 70% winning percentage. Remember which one that was? Wasn't that Ray Graves?
Yeah, no, I thought you meant, yeah. No, that definitely did have a 70%.
That's not nothing.
Well, I covered Ray the whole time he was there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I had not to digress, but unique situation was I was working 80 hours a week in Ocala. Wow. But on Thursdays, I would find a way to get in my car and drive to Gainesville and to the swamp, to the stadium where they practice, and sit up in the stands way up by myself. No other media around, just to watch. They let me in. And pretty soon, Ray got to where he'd come up there. He'd come up to see me for a couple of minutes. And I'd tape him there. I had him on exclusively. I mean, how good is that? You get the head coach for 20 minutes, whatever. Just because I went there and I was there. Sometimes showing up is key. Rob Dotson, is that true? Rob Dotson?
My comment, you talk about Troutwine. When you talk about a splash coach announcement, Summerall was a good splash coach announcement. For an assistant coach, I don't think you could have had a better splash than Troutwine coming to Florida. The comments from the players, the recruits and stuff about what they think of Troutwine is going to take care of our offensive line and build another great wall.
Great. Rob Dotson, Rob Browne, give us your lineup for what you got coming. We've got about 30 seconds. What you got coming up. Your show is great. The SEC sidelines. You guys are on there. You get great guests. Some of your guests, I've heard your show recently. You've had some outstanding guests.
Well, it's because we got the best executive producer in the world, young Brendan. But it's a great team. It's not about one individual. It's about the team. Monday, we'll have Coach Ellis Johnson, Coach Pete Cordelli, Dave Bartu, College Football Matrix. Had Clark Humboldt, college football superfan on this morning. But I'll just say this, 95% of life is showing up with a positive attitude, some walking around money, and just smile. And, buddy, there's a reason why Ray Graves would come up there and find his way to you. He's just a good person. I promise you. Rob, you know that. People are attracted when you put it out there. They know what good people are. So I hope John Summerall gets there and gets to talking to you and comes and hangs out with you up in the box. Great. And what's the old route that you take from Ocala to Gainesville? You told me about
301. Yeah, it's a back road. Yeah, we'll take that one. Yeah, we'll take it sometime. Rob, tell us about real quick But Rocket Lanes, one more time, we'll say goodbye. And great show, SEC Sidelines. Check it out.
Thank you.
On every morning. It's really top notch. Go ahead, Rob Dotson.
All right, guys, come get social with Rocket Lanes again. Bring your family and do some bowling, skating, and play in their arcade. And while the kids play, enjoy a cold beverage in their sports bar. Rocket Lanes is a host of the Panhandle Gator Club, where you can watch with fellow Gators Gator basketball games weekly and watch them on one of their many TV screens. So come get social at Rocket Lanes, 513 North Richard Jackson Boulevard, Panama City Beach, in the shops at Edgewater across from Edgewater Beach Resort.
Rob Dotson, thank you, Rob. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good show. Appreciate it, guys.
Always an honor. Thanks for having me.
All right.
We'll be in a new location next show.
There you go. New studio. See you.
Love it. Bye-bye.